and welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero TV edition. Only thing I remember is that I need to go to the doctor to have my leg looked at. I don't remember. Who is this? Hello? Oh, it's Carrington. Oh, I clicked on Marianne. I didn't mean to. Back so soon? We need to go to the Interstate 65. Lula filed your papers, so you're in our system now. I can process you whenever you're ready to go back. Just let me know. All right, I get it. So she'll actually send me away from Route Zero. Hey, Carrington, what's up? Hello, my friends. I'm relieved to run across you again. Hello, Blue. No better place than the road for a hound. I'm afraid I've been unsuccessful in my search for a venue for my play. Have you found anything in your travels? Oh, that's right. He said he wanted an outdoor venue. All right, I don't know if I want him to do it at the mine. I kind of like the idea of him doing it at the gas station, though, because it's a central location. Because doing it at the mine, like, there are dead people there, you know? There are ghosts. And the self-storage facility is the church where I think I blacked out. You know what? Maybe do it at the gas station. Equus Oils? By the interstate? It never occurred to me. It does sound compellingly desolate. The roar of cars and trucks resonating and reverberating through nearby overpasses. Yes, the psychoacoustics of the space are of prime concern. So you think it'll work? Yes, I think Equus Oils will do wonderfully. I can already hear the desolate cry of the road. You've been immeasurably helpful. If you have time later this evening, I'd love to go over my production notes with you. Just meet me there in a few hours if you like. Many thanks. Oh, all right, cool. All right, Marianne, get me the hell out of Route Zero. We're ready to be processed. She hands the receptionist Lula's card. Can you tell us how to get to this address? We're looking for Dr. Truman. Of course. This is in a neighborhood just outside of Bowling Green. Well, I have that in my notes. Get on 65 going southwest. Take a right just past the observatory, just before the river. If you continue north, you'll be there shortly. Happy to help. All right, I've got those notes down. Let's go. Oh, okay. It just took me. Great. Was there any place else I wanted to go? Whatchamacallit asked me to go to the museum to look for his stuff in the archive. The museum I have in my notes, it was on Mammoth Cave Road. So let's find that. Hey, what is that? Okay, let me not worry about that yet, because if I get on 65, Dr. Truman's house? Okay, but I don't want to go there yet. I want to go to the museum. Van? Let's check that out. The side of the van is painted with the image of a cartoonish housekeeper, effortlessly carrying a mountain of cleaning supplies balanced in one hand. The words painted below the image are too faded to read. Look inside the van. Conway looks inside the van. Peering through a dusty window, Conway and Shannon can barely make out several piles of paper stacked in the back of the van. Some are piled on boxes, some loose. All of it is sheet music. Oh! Maybe that's the person that I bumped into who was playing. I'm gonna make a note of that. Musician Van. This is one of those things where, yes, they could add the quality of life improvement by having the names of all the roads written on the actual map. But to me, there's something more immersive about having to figure it out myself. And there's also something very creative about the presentation. It doesn't feel so much like a map as it does like an interpretation of my journey. Now, I don't really know how to explain that, but that's the best way I can put it. All right, so that was that, but I want to go to the museum. Let's see if I can find Mammoth Cave Road. Oh, traffic jam. Let's check it out. A line of cars extends down the road in a late-night traffic jam. Conway and Shannon can faintly see and hear some construction on the road ahead. They get out of the truck and walk ahead. Most of the drivers in line are reading magazines or lightly dozing. Conway and Shannon try to start up a conversation. Conway taps on a window, trying to get an older woman's attention. She snaps awake suddenly but ignores him, focusing on a point just ahead on the highway. The road ends abruptly. A small crew of highway maintenance workers have been laying down a 10-foot stretch of road. They complete their project and step out of the way as traffic briefly resumes. The cars stop again, and the maintenance workers begin on the next section. Even if I can never again go back to any of these things, I'm still going to make notes of all of it, just in case. Because this just strikes me as one of those games where attention to detail matters. But yeah, I think the museum was north. Oh, dirt road. A dirt road runs into the forest. The path is worn by large tire tracks. A sign is posted, but the lettering has been smudged away by rain. It might say something about a grove or a stockyard. let's go, man. Let's drive down the path. Conway and Shannon drive down the path. The truck's headlights briefly glimmer on unknown surfaces between the trees. Ahead, the path winds to the right. Ooh, unknown surfaces. Walk into the woods. They get out of the truck and walk in the woods. Conway and Shannon push aside collapsed branches and spiderwebs. The material of the forest gives way to rusty, painted metal. Dozens of corroded pickup trucks, some broken into pieces by years of seasonal heating and cooling, clog the forest floor. That's weird. I really love the fact that I can just stumble upon things. That's what I meant when I said this is more like an interpretation of my journey, because the map is not showing me everything. It's not showing me where I'm going or even where I've been. It just shows me where I am, right? It shows me the thing I'm experiencing in that moment, and then that moment is gone, so that location is gone from the map. I love that. There's something so poetic about that. Good on you, developer. What do you call egg board carton? Crate board? I don't know. Good on you for doing something cool and kind of metaphysical with a bunch of squiggly lines. Okay, anyway, like I feel like the museum was over here somewhere. Nope, not that road. Why do I not remember Union Light Dog Creek Road? Cub Run Highway, Wax Road. I don't remember that either. Are there more roads than there were? Or am I going crazy? I could actually just draw this map myself. That's when you know you like a game. When you decide that you want to do something you absolutely don't have to do. Sunfish Bee Spring Road? Some of these were not here. You ain't fooling me none. Tavern on Jackson Highway. Oh, okay, cool. Let's talk to Blue first. Been a while, eh? I spent a lot of time in places like this. Too much time. Shannon, you got anything you want to say? No? Alright. Well, let's head on in. Strange. Sounds like music coming from inside, but the sign says closed. Maybe they're cleaning. Yeah, it just sounds... I don't know, this place kind of creeps me out. It's okay, I'll just get a Coke on the road somewhere. I kind of want to go in, though. Can I go around the back? It is a little weird. Let's see. The trash bin is filled. Several pairs of working shoes, a few hats, a small Ziploc bag with 3 pairs of eyeglasses. Okay. Well, let's get back in the truck, guys. It's time to go. I'm very upset because I know for a fact the museum was to the left. Scenic view, Nolan Dam Road. Alright, I'm gonna go with Shannon because it's gonna give me more characterization for her than Conway's response would about him. I came out here on a date once. Oh, good memories? Yeah, actually. Yeah, these nights. It's mostly kind of a haze for me now. Just smells and sounds. This is nice, though. It is nice. Oh, I don't want to drive away yet. I want to have more of my seltzer. Also, I hear something. I definitely hear and feel something. Something's getting closer. What is happening? Something's happening. Hey! Woo! I knew I shouldn't have driven away. Oh, that gave me the tinglies. Now I want to drive away. There's more to do here. Let me just see if now I can select something. No. Okay. Drive away. Interesting. That was cool because it said drive away and then I heard a slight rumble. So I was like, nope, I'm not going anywhere. Something's about to happen. That was nice. Oh, see that? Hey, let's go check out the crater. It's funny because that's actually where that plane was as well, which I remember because I have it in my notes. Crater. Gathered people. Well, I never heard of a bird so heavy or hot as that. No, I don't think you're right about that one. You haven't heard him much. I knew that already. I can tell you right now. You don't tell him a thing. If it was a bird, how'd it burn up like that? My father-in-law... Oh, God. What idiot would think a bird made a crater? Then again, who knows what kind of birds they have in Kentucky Route Zero? Know what I mean? Oh, William! That old man must see a flying saucer every night, and 2 on the weekend. I never... Now, didn't I say that earlier about flying saucers? You heard me. You know, just a week ago, up by the lake. What about this person up here? Not one of you know a thing about weird lights in the sky, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. About 9 months back, I was out sorting the cans and bottles, and I saw 3 flashes that took up half the sky. They flashed in order, a few seconds apart. Red, green, blue. Then about a few months later, I was fixing my lawnmower, and I saw them again, but faster. Red, green, blue. Now, just a week ago, I was microwaving some steam in the bag broccoli, and I looked up, and there it was out the window. Red, green, blue. So don't tell me about burning birds, lights in the sky, flying saucers. I know already. All right. Let's go see what these last people have to say. Well, that's all very interesting, but my cousin works for a TV station, and he says they drop about 2 to 3 satellites a week. They just fall out of the sky. More like government satellites. All I know is it wasn't a bird. That's all I care to know. Let's go check the scanner. Anyone else have something to say? I like this game enough that I don't mind hobbling over to find out. All right, come on, Conway. I think we're done here. I love games where you are rewarded for your curiosity. And like I said, being detail-oriented, paying attention to what the game is feeding you. It's so satisfying and so much better than, everything being spelled out for you, because that way every gamer can have their own precious experience. There will be plenty of things that I probably miss that other people might stumble across. Oh, radio towers. A roughly circular cluster of narrow radio towers sprout from a muddy field. A ragged chain-link fence strung up around the field would do very little to keep out vandals. Birds and other animals avoid the area. It is forcefully silent. Try to tune the truck's radio. Conway and Shannon try to tune the truck's radio. The truck's radio hasn't worked for years, not so much as a whimper of static. Conway and Shannon walk into the center of the cluster. The chain-link fence easily folds out of the way. Shannon holds a corner of it off the ground as Conway crawls under. Inside the fence, a subtle but perceptible hum disturbs the air. They listen. The hum is inaudible. It's more like a current of wind or a feeling of uneasiness. They walk farther in. At the center of the circle, Conway notices a tremor in his vision. His left eyelid twitches. On the ground nearby, a few empty beer cans surround a circle of scorched earth, like candles. Ooh. Okay. Hey, who beeped at me? What's this little thingy? I want to go to that little thingy so bad. Whatever, let's go to Truman's house. He's on Mount Olive Gherkin Road. They do have good gherkins. The neighborhood at the address on Lula's card has been demolished. In its place is a large museum, still partially under construction. So that does make sense, because they were like, oh, is this Dr. Truman's house? And I'm like, that doesn't make sense, because my note said that Dr. Truman is east of Bowling Green, and Bowling Green is like way over to the right. So, okay, makes sense. So now let's write Museum Mount Olive Gherkin Road. Let's head in. Act 2, Scene 4. Museum of Dwellings. Oh. Oh yeah, he was talking to his dog. Guy was a weirdo. What did he say? Just small talk, like you talk to your buddies or something. Like you talk to a dock worker. Just like, damn, this is a lot of rain. Haven't seen rain like this since that storm a couple years back that took out Lizette's herb garden. I just feel bad for that old dog, getting dragged all over by a couple of drunks. Old dog like that should be sleeping on a porch somewhere. But that's loyalty for you. Well, they didn't stay long anyway. Whoa, that's bizarre. So, like, whatever I'm saying, this is like the future. Oh, okay, let me just continue. I heard the man and the lady talking when they first came in, but they didn't see me. What were you doing up that late? Mom lets me stay up late all the time. She said it's okay. I was just looking for frogs. What were the man and the lady talking about? The man said his leg was hurting him. They were looking for Dr. Truman, but he was already gone. But they didn't know, so they kept looking around. I just assumed they were from the power company. You know how they're always coming by unannounced and messing with this or that. I just shut myself up in my room to wait it out. No sense getting involved. They definitely weren't from the power company. Well, I wouldn't complain if they were, really. With that storm going on, I know they have to do their business. It doesn't affect me. I've got my generator. But you know, some of these folks around here, unprepared. Totally unprepared. Hey! That's cool. I've got an umbrella. Hello, Shannon. Would you like to share my umbrella? There you go. I don't want you to get wet, but let's go, walk around. See if there's anything to see in here. There is. I was playing in that empty cabin and they came by. They asked about Dr. Truman. I know where he went, but I didn't tell them. Where did Dr. Truman go? It's a secret. Ezra told me, and I can't tell anyone else. Who's Ezra? He's my age. He doesn't really live here. He's just passing through with his brother Julian. First, they're going to help us, but I can't say any more about that. We have a lot of secrets. You know, secrets are okay unless you're a kid. It might not be a good secret if you catch my drift. Anyway, the lady asked me about my parents, and I told them they were upstairs in the greenhouse. Do you want to hear a weird story? Of course I do. The old man asked me about the cabin. He said it looked like another house he knew, and he wanted to know where it came from. I told him nobody lived there, so he went inside. He took a long time exploring. When he came back out, he told me all about it. Where was the other house he knew? I don't remember. He seemed sad. Was it a place where something sad happened? Yeah, I remember. He woke up there one morning and he didn't know where he was. He was alone. He waited all day for someone to come and tell him why he was there, but nobody did. So he left at sundown. He went upstairs, and he also looked around the other rooms. I played with the dog. What did he do upstairs? He looked in some boxes. He looked out the window. He could see the museum better than when he was downstairs. He could tell how it was all put together. And the cabin, too. He could see the shape of it better from up there. Now, the part that is weird. He said he went to the basement. That cabin doesn't have a basement. I'm gonna go with this one because it reeks of desperation. He said he dug through the ground to get there. Then he found a rope leading down a long pit, and he climbed down. The walls were covered in a glowing moss. He used the light of the moss to find a lake at the bottom of the pit. The water swept him around until he didn't know where he was, and finally he fell asleep in the water. He woke up on the floor of the cabin. He came back outside, and we said goodbye, and I didn't talk to them anymore. Wow, I'm glad I walked around. That's bizarre. All right. We ought to get some real chickens in that coop. Do some homesteading. None of these folks know how to live off the land, you know what I mean? It's just a display, another kind of dwelling. Yeah, no offense against you guys. I mean, I appreciate what all you've done for us. Oh, that guy should have an accent, but I'm not gonna give him one. This is cool, just kind of figuring out what I can look at. Oh, here's the thing. I think you need to get some real horses in the stable. Did the strangers go in the stable? No, they just poked around a bit and talked about barns. They were pretty boring. That's kind of hilarious that it wasn't until he said it's a different kind of dwelling that it clicked with me that it said this is the Museum of Dwellings. Though maybe it's a double meaning, right? Anyway, that dog was in nearly as bad shape as the old man, just sort of shrugging along. They found some treats in the doghouse exhibit. That seemed to cheer them up a bit. Oh, good. There you go. You get some treats. The moment I now recall most clearly from their short visit was the birdcage exhibit. The old man stopped to rest, or maybe to think. The young woman had been anxious up to that point, but she stopped as well and examined the birdcage more closely. It seemed to elicit a tenderness from her. She ran one fingernail along the bars of the wire cage, marking out a tuneless scale like a child's xylophone. And then they moved on. All right. So say you. Sure, I talked to them for a bit. Actually, we talked for quite a while. I wasn't busy. I was happy for the company. Can't sleep in a storm like that. I never could. What did you talk about? I told him to put his umbrella away. I get great shelter right here. See, like, that's cool. Does that mean if I didn't have my umbrella up, he wouldn't have said that line? Curious. I had a bottle in my coat, and I could see the old guy looking at it, and his leg was hurt pretty bad, so I offered him some. He got real awkward about it. I bet he's in a program. Anyway, they were asked about Dr. Truman. I remember him. He was here for a bit, and then he left. So that's what I told them. I'll put my thing away. That's cool. Do you know, at first I thought it might be Hudson walking up to visit. I'd heard him working on his boat just a bit earlier, before the storm started. But then I saw the stranger's limping gait, and the young woman with him, and I knew it couldn't be. I invited them in for a glass of bourbon, which they politely declined, so I just talked to them on the porch for a bit. What did you talk about? Oh, we talked a bit about the neighborhood. I told them about Hudson and his sailboat, and the nice young couple in the greenhouse, and the charming Dr. Truman who used to live here. They were very interested in him, but of course, well, I don't know where he went. Do you know, I don't believe either of them had ever set foot on a houseboat before. I don't know that the older man had ever seen an ocean, in fact. It has always been my fondest dream to retire on a houseboat. That's why I accepted your offer and moved in here. It isn't perfect, but what home ever is? I only wish the house would sway a bit. I find that it settles my nerves. Well, if we have another storm like the last one, that's weird. That this is a museum of dwellings and people actually live in them. Go to the farthest one first. I heard them banging around out there, and I just stayed quiet. I don't know what they wanted. I just put my headphones on and tried to ignore them, to tell you the truth. Thanks for being so cordial with your hospitality. They were hollering at that empty tent you folks have on display. Hey, if you ever need anyone to stay in there, I've been in worse positions. Yeah, they came by and knocked on the window, and we had a bit of a talk through the glass. I would have come out, but you know, shady characters. What did you talk about? They were asking about Dr. Truman, and I told them what all I know about that, which is not very much. Well, what do you know about Dr. Truman? I told them he moved in here with the rest of us when you folks bought up the neighborhood, and then one day his house was gone. That's all I know about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. What do you mean one day his house was gone? Like, this is the Museum of Dwellings, but also it's an active neighborhood, so it's kind of like the epitome of living exhibit. I guess he must have gone through some papers here. It was in some disarray, and a few folders were pulled out and left on the table. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I only noticed because Diana's such a stickler. She's real organized, I mean. What folders were they looking at? Yeah, mostly stuff about the building site, I guess. They had a list of all the homes we relocated here. A list of original residences before we leveled the neighborhood. I'd guess they were looking for one of the old residents. They pulled out a list of the folks who didn't take the offer, folks who moved elsewhere, but they filed that back, out of order, so I guess they didn't find what they were looking for there. Hey, while I have you here, work's kind of slowed down, and it seems like... I know you folks know what you're doing, but it seems like the residents are just kind of settling in? That's the idea. Yeah, I get that. Just, how about that roof, huh? You just write us a check and we'll finish it right up. I know you've got this museum thing going on, but you don't want to be slumlords now. That's so bizarre. So, like, they leveled a neighborhood, and all of the people who wanted to, like, they relocated there. That's very strange. So now I'm going to go around to the place I missed, now that I know what I'm looking for. Up we go. Oh, I was like, why are we not moving? But it's because Blue wasn't on. Anything to see up here? We were working in the greenhouse, and I saw them come up in the elevator. They were lost, obviously. It was obvious. Hey, Shannon, where'd you get an umbrella? Oh, of course. I saw them looking at that odd-shaped building. Did they go inside? No, they just looked at it for a bit. I don't know that I'd feel safe setting foot in there. Personally, it always looks like it's about to... What the fuck? I don't know that I feel safe setting foot in there personally. It always looks like it's about to take off. You mean like that bird took off with a bird cage or whatever in the background? Actually, I guess it's sort of romantic. Anyway, they seemed interested in it. Tired, huddling under their umbrellas, they still stopped to examine the strange building. That's what I do. I examine things. Difficult to see or even hear a storm like that, but I was awake and alert, studying the week's forecast. It should even out shortly, I'd say. Did you talk to them? Yeah, we had a short conversation. The young woman heard my radio crackling from the cabin and asked about it. The old man was a bit disoriented. What does she want to know about your radio? She thought she recognized the model, just from the noise it was making. I didn't even know the model myself. She told me many old radios from the period had badly designed tuning circuits that cause a kind of resonant feedback in certain spots on the dial. Easy to pick out if you have the ear for it. Smart young woman, and I always loved to chat with an artisan. Well, then they had to leave, looking for a doctor. I think the old man was having a bad time. It was a short conversation. Hopefully we'll stumble across Ezra, and he'll tell us where the hell the doctor went. Flora was playing down on the lower level, and we'd been having a glass of wine in the greenhouse. We ducked out of the way when he came in. After all, they were complete strangers. We didn't know them. Did you overhear them talking? Well, I heard the young woman ask her friend about his job. He's some kind of furniture collector or dealer, I think. It didn't sound like things were going well. Maybe they were here looking for a buyer? Yes, definitely some kind of furniture collector or dealer. I heard him talking about antiques. Let's see if they'll say something about me not having my umbrella. Hey, there he is. I saw you folks drive up. I like your truck. What kind of truck is that? We've got a couple of them at the shop, but this is the only one that runs. Oh yeah, with the truck you've got to keep it up. That's why me and Julian don't use the truck. We just carry the houses. What? Who's Julian? Julian's my brother. He's a lot bigger and stronger, and he has more feathers than me. But he's still my brother. Oh, that's the bird that I keep seeing in the background picking shit up. That's so funny. Where do you take the houses? Me and Julian take them out to the forest every night, and then we bring them back at dawn before the museum opens. Why do you take them to the forest? This museum's an okay place to live in the daytime, but it's no good at night. Folks just can't sleep in a place like this, or when they do, it gives them nightmares. So we take them out to the forest to sleep, then bring them back in the morning. And Dr. Truman is in the forest already? Yes, ma'am, he's out in the forest. Me and Julian took him out there a few nights ago, and he didn't want to come back. He lives there all the time now. Can you tell us how to get there? You have to follow the Green River way out east. Okay, so let me put that down. And then hop over Lake Cumberland. The roads don't go there. But me and Julian can take you. We were just about to go anyway. I've just got to call him over. Whoa! That was cool. Yay! Now we get to fly. Farmhouse. Well, you said we gotta follow Green River all the way out east. Oh, whoops. I see the bottom left. There's a compass there. So now I think we're headed east. Yep, there's Green River. This game is so freaking cool. Let's just keep going east. Lake Cumberland. Alright. And then soon I'll get to the forest. I love this game. It's so me and so weird in all of the ways. I like indie games. What is this? Forest, yes. To the forest, bird. Almost couldn't see the forest for the trees. A forest. Oh, I didn't read the act out. What the heck? Am I Ezra now? Whoa. Julian's cool. It's okay. Just take it easy. I'll just close my eyes. I don't think that's a good idea. Just take some strain off your leg for a minute, and then we'll keep going. Why is this delivery so important to you? I don't know. Okay, well, who knows why we do anything, right? Somehow it seems important to me too. Maybe we'll figure it out when we get there. Huh. Weird. That's so weird how, like, everywhere I go, Conway is there. Let me talk to Blue. How'd you come to be with these people? Nah, I know. You probably met in a farm or something. I bet the lady fixed tractors. So was this me getting to choose, like, where they stay? Like, by the car? That's so cool. Or by this, oh, this little place is kind of nice, but Conway's not there. Huh. Interesting. He's inside with Dr. Truman. You coming in? Sure, I'll come in. Dr. Truman lets me watch TV sometimes. My folks never watch TV, but I like the way it looks. Oh, could I have been talking to them the entire time? The reason I didn't want to click was because I thought that whichever one I clicked on, that's where they were going to stay. So I wanted to see what everything else was. And anyway, you said you lost track of your family earlier? Yep, it's easy to get lost, especially out in the woods like this. I never really get lost, though. I just look out for Julian. He's always around. My folks had a really nice house, bigger than any of these houses, but it made them worried all the time. Then the bank took it back. We had to sleep at the bus station, but I could never get to sleep. So I just went out to fly around every night with Julian. We flew really far, and we never got lost. But when we came back in the morning, they were all gone. We'll help you look for them. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can all go looking again, later tonight. Let's go see what's on TV. Hey, Dr. Truman looks like he's got a 90s fade. Like, I feel like I see a cut line on the side of his head. And yeah, I think during that exit interview is when I really realized how badly they had me. But how else can you pay for medical school? I have college friends with debts that... You can't expect to pay that back unless you're planning to sell painkillers on the side or something. Or, you know, some kind of administrative thing. I don't know. Having seen what arthritis did to my grandmother and my best friend in high school destroy his wrists building synthesizers, I mean, he was like 17. Ailments of the joints and limbs just seem important to me. I hope that answers your question. Getting a scholarship with that pharmaceutical company had a lot of strings attached, but at least I have somewhere to practice, even if I have to follow their market trends a bit. And hey, thanks to all those seminars, I'm an expert on the medical uses of Neuropnol TM. It's not so bad. So, how about that leg? What happened exactly? My leg was crushed by falling rocks. Ah, crushing injury. Yeah, those can be pretty bad. Everything gets all compressed and there are a lot of little pieces to... You know what? Never mind. Let's take a look. How bad could it be, right? Probably pretty bad because I've been walking on it for much longer than I should. Are you gonna look at it? What are they singing about? They're singing about going home. Yeah, they're singing about their homes because they're lost right now. It's a scary song. It's scary, but they can still sing about it. Your friend's in pretty bad shape, isn't he? But it's nothing we can't handle. You might have a few things to look out for in the future. Be a bit gentler with the leg or the way you walk, but you'll be okay. I've dealt with similar cases before. So the anesthetic we'll use is called Nerypnol. It's pretty experimental, but it's more appropriate in cases like yours. The way it works is I'll count backwards from 5 to start the process, and then we'll just have a normal conversation as the Nerypnol takes effect. Then I'll get started. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's talk about billing for a moment. The pharmaceutical company I'm contracted with was recently acquired by an energy company that has some different standards for billing and revenue. So it's a bit complex now. End of Act 2. Well, that's perfect, because I was going to end the episode after that scene, so now we finish Act 2. I'm upset about the museum thing, and also I missed the opportunity, I guess, to go and see Carrington at Equus Oils beforehand, like while he's taking his notes and stuff. But this game is everything I thought it would be. A-linear, experimental, atmospheric. Those are the things that I wanted Kentucky Route Zero to be, and it's all of that and more. I cannot wait to finish playing this, and if you also can't wait for me to finish playing this, either because you really love it and want to see more, or you really hate it and want to see it end, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel, support me on Patreon at the $1 tier or higher if you like, and I'll be back very soon with another episode of KRZ.